Now, in the NEET UG paper leak case, the National Testing Agency has filed an affidavit in the Supreme Court. The apex court is expected to take up the matter later today. And the NTA's response has been keenly awaited on issues related to the alleged paper leak security lapses and demands for re-examination. NewsX has exclusively accessed the affidavit. And Sambhav Sharma is joining me to tell us more about it. Sambhav, over to you.
Absolutely a crucial update in the NEET UG paper leak case from the Supreme Court, where the NTA, National Testing Agency, has filed a detailed affidavit just ahead of the hearing in the top court, because top court will hear this matter today, because a few minutes earlier, when the matter reached the bench, item number 44, it was passed over. So the Supreme Court will hear the case today, and we have the copy of the affidavit here. And if we talk about the important pointers of the affidavit, before the Supreme Court, the NTA has filed a detailed affidavit. We have the copy of the affidavit, and 34 pages of this affidavit is being filed by the National Testing Agency. And if we talk about important pointers, NTA has said that the next examination of the NEET UG 2026 re-examination will be held on June 21st, with further strengthened security framework after the May 3rd examination was cancelled over alleged malpractice. That's one. Another very important update was the NTA has updated the Supreme Court, because SC has earlier asked NTA to file a detailed affidavit. Now the affidavit is filed by NTA. NTA is saying that mobile jammers were installed at around 5,432 NEET UG 2026 centers, and around 1.85 lakh CCTV cameras were deployed. So these are the nitty-gritty details, what the NTA is saying to the Supreme Court through its affidavit.
All right, Sambhav, stay on with me. I also have Yash Ahuja joining me. What can you tell us, Yash?
Yes, Vaishali, NewsX has now exclusively accessed the Supreme Court, the petition that was filed in the matter of Federation of All India Medical Association versus the National Testing Agency. This is an affidavit on the behalf of respondents in compliance of order dated 2505, passed by this honorable court. Let's take a look at some particulars of this exact petition. It states that it was on the behalf of Director Legal of the National Testing Agency, and it states that they are well conversant with the facts and circumstances of the present case, and therefore Director Legal of the National Testing Agency is the competent and duly authorized to affirm the present affidavit on behalf of respondent number 1, that is the NTA. It further states that the present affidavit is being filed in due compliance with the directions contained in the order dated 2505, passed by this honorable court, whereby the answering respondent has been directed to file an affidavit indicating the position as regards the monitoring committee constituted on 14th of November in 2024. The constitution of high-level committee of experts and submission of its report. This is the report. The Ministry of Education constituted a high-level committee under the chairmanship of Dr. Radhakrishnan, the former ISRO chairman. He is also the ex-chairman of the Board of Governors, IIT Kanpur. He was constituted to make recommendations for the reform of the National Testing Agency. The mandate of the high-level committee of experts included examining the existing examination conduct, mechanism, recommending for reforms for ensuring transparent, smooth and fair conduct of examinations, and further suggesting structural, procedural and technological measures to strengthen the National Testing Agency. It further states that by the way of communication, dated 20th November, the then Secretary Department of Higher Education wrote to the Chief Secretaries of all states and administrators communicating the gist of the HLCE recommendations and requesting cooperation of states and union territories for the institutional linkage with the NTA for smooth and fair conduct of the national level entrance examinations. The said communication, it further states that Aadhaar-based biometric authentication, live photo capture, and thumb verification through UIDA AI were introduced for NEET UG 2026 candidates to prevent impersonation. Affidavit further states that any facial recognition mismatch facial recognition mismatch or Aadhaar authentication failure triggered immediate alerts to NTA's central control room for verification. So yes, NewsX has exclusively accessed the affidavit that you're seeing on our screens. Sambar Sharma, our colleague, is live with us on the broadcast. Sambar, over to you.
Affidavit, around 30 pages of affidavit. We have the copy of the affidavit, and as you rightly pointed out, these are the important pointers of the affidavit. I just want to quickly add on a few more points as to what the NTA has formally said to the Supreme Court through this formal affidavit filed by the NTA. Here NTA has told the Supreme Court that it received inputs about alleged malpractices on 7th of May, escalated the matter to central agencies on 8th of May, and later cancelled the examination before referring the probe to the Central Bureau of Investigation. This is what NTA is updating the Supreme Court. And also the affidavit states that the NEET UG 2026 was conducted around over 5,000 centers and in around 13 languages, and 22 lakh candidates appearing for the examination. And also said the question paper were transported under, earlier that question paper was transported under CAPF escort with chain of custody protocols and sorted under CCTV surveillance with strict access. But what is more important is that the next examination, with the re-examination, which is to be held on 21st of June, here the NTA is telling the Supreme Court, informing the top court, that the re-examination on June 21st will be held under further strengthened security framework, and also that Aadhaar-based biometric authentication, live photo capture, and thumb verification through UIDAI were introduced by the new NEET UG 2026 to prevent this impersonation. And also the important part here is that mobile jammers were installed at around over 5,000 NEET UG centers, and around 1.85 lakh CCTV cameras were deployed for nationwide monitoring. This is what NTA is informing the top court regarding the next, that is the re-examination, the NEET UG 2026 examination, which is to be held on 21st of June. And also the important update is that the two-judge bench of the Supreme Court of Justice P.S. Narasimha and Justice Alok Arade is to hear this matter today. So the formal affidavit is there before the Supreme Court, a much awaited affidavit, because on the last date of hearing, Supreme Court has questioned NTA and it's the way it is conducting the examination, because the future of lakhs of aspirants, NEET aspirants, is at stake. And also, Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI, is investigating this whole case. All around over 10 accused were already arrested. CBI is grilling, investigating, and trying to come up with more information. And CBI is, this particular case where the CBI is involved is going on in another court of Delhi, which is the Rouse Avenue Court. Rouse Avenue Court, special CBI court in the Rouse Avenue Court premises, is dealing with this CBI case. On the other hand, NTA has filed a detailed affidavit before the top court just ahead of the crucial hearing in the NEET UG paper leak case.
All right, Sambhav, thanks for joining me with those details.